And now we will move on to question 7. Okay, so in question 7, we're given a circuit diagram and we are asked to determine voltage V2. So notice that uh, in this question, they've labeled all of the polarities across each of the devices. So when you do circuit analysis, these polarities should mean nothing to you. What all they mean ultimately is how you plan on measuring these devices. So really, in real life, you would have a voltmeter, and out of this voltmeter, you have two wires. One is the live strip, so it's usually a bright color, and there's a plus sign associated with it. The other is the ground or the reference strip, and there's usually a negative sign associated with it. All it means when someone labels the polarities across an element is it's saying when you measure it, you take the positive lead and you hook it up to the plus side, and the negative lead and you hook it up to the negative side. So for now, I'm going to ignore all of the polarities that they've labeled in this question, and I'm going to solve it. And then after I solve it, I'll finish up and give them their answer. So a little bit of common sense as I look at this, and remember, we're going to ignore all of these polarities for now. And a little bit of common sense would tell us that current will come out of the positive side of this voltage source. And so we'll have current going in a counterclockwise direction. Um, we'll move on from there. Um, really, this is a simple circuit. When we look at this, we should recognize that we can use, well, first of all, this is a series circuit. And when you think of a series circuit, you think of voltage dividers. So in this case, you can figure out, so forget about everything that they've labeled. For now, I'm going to say V1 prime. So I'm gonna do this problem the way that I would do it, uh, without interference of these polarities that they've labeled. But let me first finish my thought from earlier. I said common sense would tell you that current would go in these directions, in the counterclockwise direction. And so that would mean that it goes from positive terminal to negative terminal, positive terminal to negative terminal, positive terminal to negative terminal. So now you can give names to all of these. I'll just call it V1 prime, V2 prime, and V3 prime because I don't want to get confused with the original naming in this problem. And so you can figure out what V2 prime is, or the voltage drop across the 4 ohm resistor by using voltage division. So similar to current division, you have your source, in this case your source voltage, and now this time you have the resistance itself that you care about, who you want to find the voltage across. So in this case it's the 4 ohms, and then the denominator will just be the sum of the total resistance in this series loop. So now you have an answer for V2 prime. But check this out. Our V2 prime is defined where the plus polarity is on the top and the negative polarity is on the bottom. Whereas in the question, they want to measure it the other way around. They want to put the plus side on the bottom and they want to put the negative side on the top. So what that would tell you is that the relationship between V2 as they've defined it in the problem itself, it would just be the negative of V2 prime. So that will conclude this question.